Give me 1 minute. Computer has one issue today. Okay, I'm ready. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 7, Text number 45. Esha Bhagavan Drona Prajarupena Vartate Tasyatmano Hridam Patnyaste Nanvagad Virasu Krupi. One more time. Sayesha Bhagavan Drona Prajarupena Vartate Tasyatmano Hridam Patnyaste Nanvagad Virasu Krupi. Word to word meaning. Saha, he, Eshaha, certainly, Bhagavan, Lord, Drona, Dronacharya, Prajarupena, in the form of his son, Ashwatthama, Vartate, is existing, Tasya, his, Atmanha, of the body. Ardham, half, Patni, wife, Aste, living, Na, not, Anvagat, undertook, Virasuhu, having the son present, Krupi, the sister of Krupacharya. Translation. He, Dronacharya, is certainly still existing, being represented by his son. His wife Krupi did not undergo a sati with him because she had a son. Purport. The wife of Dronacharya, Krupi, is the sister of Krupacharya, a devoted wife who is, according to revealed scripture, the better half of her husband, is justified in embracing voluntary death along with her husband, and if she is without issue. But in the case of a wife of Dronacharya, she did not undergo such a trial because she had her son, the representative of her husband. A widow is a widow only in name if there is a son of her husband existing. So in either case, Ashwatthama was the representative of Dronacharya. And therefore, killing Ashwatthama would be killing Dronacharya, would be like killing Dronacharya. That was the argument of Draupadi against the killing of Ashwatthama. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitanscha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaurabhatranda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam Mangum langayate grim Yat kripa tamaham vande Shri Gurum Deenataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you for giving this opportunity, especially on this Ekadashi day. Somehow I'm getting fortunate. The previous lecture, the class what I Bhagavatam reading also had was an Ekadashi, looks like, for me. So thank you so much. Somehow getting fortunate. And the day of Ekadashi, we have to hear, think about the Lord, chant the holy name of the Lord as much as possible. I have, without qualification, I'm trying to say something, but based on the previous Acharya's description, Prabhupada's lectures, and senior Vaishnava's lectures, I'm praying Guru Maharaj and all the devotees so that I can speak something for the purification and pleasing the Lordships. Hare Krishna. So this was we had a lot of insight on what was going on in this chapter. The son of Drona punished. That's the chapter entitled. And we have heard every day a lot of recap, almost every day, every devotee giving us a recap on what happened, what was the context, and what is Arjuna trying to do, what is Krishna trying to do. And then Krishna is helping Arjuna. Arjuna is surrendering to Krishna. And then Arjuna is bringing the tide, Ashwatthama totally tied him as an animal, treated him like an animal, and bringing him all the way to Draupadi. And Draupadi, she is giving her explanation on the past 2 days. Bhakti Premataji, Vamshidhari Prabhu, lot very nice explanations every day. So I'll try on my, based on my understanding, realization, I can say something. Whenever a difficult circumstances comes to our life, it is very difficult for anyone to make a decision. And such that to Draupadi looking at, Pandavas looking at Ashwatthama, such a heinous act he has performed, killing the son of Pandavas. Draupadi had 5 sons from each of her husband. And all the 5, they're beheaded. And what do we think? As a mother, looking at the children beheaded, no more children, no more offsprings, and no more lineage for Draupadi. It's very, and then what do we do? Of course, she has to cry. She will cry. And then some people get angry. Even many situations we have seen, somebody passes away. One thing is grief. The second thing is some people get, especially men get angry, and then they speak a lot of things. Angry is because they don't know how to express the grief. So the grief, expressing the grief, will be also in that form of anger, which I had experienced when a year ago when my wife passed away. But think about Draupadi. Her own sons, all of them are beheaded. It's not easy. How do we cope up with this? Someone will say, let's kill him. Then Draupadi comes to say, no, don't kill them. Don't kill him. So the decision making is very, very difficult. So the point of decision making on every aspect of our lives, day-to-day lives, when something good happens, when something bad happens. So most of the time we make wrong decisions ourselves. If you think that I can do everything, most of the decisions will be wrong. Now in this context, Prabhupada is telling Draupadi is a very intelligent and she is not an ordinary woman. She knows all the religious principles perfectly. So how do we know what are the religious principles? What are the rules and regulations for all of us in this material world? There are two aspects. One is for a devotee, one is for a non-devotee. So one is Krishna, one is surrendered to Krishna, and people who are not surrendered to Krishna, what are the rules and regulations? Whether you are surrendered or not surrendered, rules and regulations are there anyway. Like state has its own rules. The government, the central government has its own rules. Is it different rule? No, the rule is same. It's state has separate rules. On the top of it, the federal laws, central laws. And also that means you follow this and also you follow this for this state. And they have framed the constitution and put everything in the books. Is that true? Whatever the constitution, every law is been framed and put it in the books. Is that true enough? And is it right? And on the top of it, several countries, this is for an individual country. And if you're looking for rules and regulations overall in the world, there is a United Nations, which also has put together a certain rule. If one country does something, then how should we act as a group, as a whole world? How do we act? So they are putting rules and regulations and principles. Nothing is helping. There is a peace formula. Prabhupada says many times, one country is doing something, another country is telling something. Let's have a United Nations so that we'll come to a conclusion on how to decide what to decide. But it's very difficult to decide what they need to decide. Every time they meet, there will be some other argument and leads to something else. And there is still, they're working on it. Prabhupada comments many times in his lectures. So one aspect of what is the right action to take? And at this situation like this, can I use my own intelligence to make a decision? No, it's very difficult because the intelligence won't help here. So what is the solution for this problem? So in Bhagavad Gita, in the third chapter, most of the times he explains, Prabhupada explains the rules and regulations in his purports. And he also explains that offering our sacrifice to the Lord, whatever you make a decision, karma yoga, this yoga, that yoga, there are so many other yogas. End of the day, what is that? Is the sacrifice to the Lord is the main thing. We can do on our own something, but sacrifice to the Lord is a main thing. And there is also a social process of dharma. How to interact with the social group, how to interact with the family, how to interact with the extended family, how to interact with the society. There are also some rules. How to do this, what to do this. And then look at there are certain rules for Brahmin, there are certain rules for Kshatriya, there are certain rules for Vaishyas, there are certain rules for Sudras. There are many. So rules are there for everyone, and it's a little bit different for if this is not happening. Oh, if she is a Kshatriya, if he is a Brahmana, this is what he has to do. This is what he has to do. On the top of it, where this all coming from, it is nothing but dharma, which is the rule of Krishna. Swayambhuva Manu has framed this. Manu, if you see the rule of Manu, it says many times, the book of Manu, the rule of Manu says he has to be punished. The book of a rule of Manu says this has to be done like this. So Swayambhu Manu has framed all these rules and regulations in as a dharma. This is the dharma for this material world. And one who abides by the rules and regulations of this dharma can live happily in this material world. And still, it's very difficult to even follow the rules and regulations. On the topic of somebody killing someone, especially the beloved, loved ones, somebody is killed, how can that be treated? How to make a decision? It's a lot of rules and regulations. So what do we do in this aspect? The process is, the main principle is, the solution for all the problem is to surrender to Krishna. And this is what Srimad Bhagavatam is telling us. In any aspect or any context, devotees, they are trying on their own, but ultimately they surrender into Krishna. In every story, every pastime in Srimad Bhagavatam, it's tending towards surrendering to Krishna. And there are few other aspects of Prabhupada is telling that he, first of all, Sati, because based on the Sati system, wife of Dronacharya would have, should have entered the pyre of, fire, and should have given up, right? Basically, whenever somebody husband dies, Sati, the wife also follows. That means she follows her husband along in the same fire, giving up the body. But now, if she has a son, then she does not have to do that, because the son is a representative of husband. So that's what Prabhupada is clearly telling us, that she is not a widow. She is a widow, but she is not a widow because her son is there and she is a son is as good as his father, because it's Prabhupada explains that the bija, that means the father is the one who gave. It's coming from the body of the father, so it's representing the father in one aspect. And here in this aspect, in this as a Dronacharya, he is the guru. Is not just the Kshatriya, but he is also guru, because guru of Pandavas. And Draupadi is telling that how can you kill Ashwatthama? That means you are killing his father. That means you are also killing your own guru. That what Prabhupada explains. It says the representative of the Dronacharya, and therefore killing Ashwatthama would be killing like Dronacharya, so you cannot kill. And these rules and regulations only can be known by a person who is out of avidya, ignorance. And now Draupadi she is known with all these religious principles, and she was the devotee of the Lord, and Krishna is giving intelligence to her to make a decision. But still, it may be again not a final decision. She is sympathetic, because she is telling, anyway, I am crying. I don't want my guru's sons to be the Krupi. I don't want to be her also crying. In this material world, we have seen that one is suffering, they will make sure that, oh, if I am suffering, let everyone also suffer. But as a devotee, they are actually not sympathetic. On the top of its sympathy, they have compassionate nature. And what is compassion in this aspect? It is also, compassion is in mood of compassion. What are the moods of compassion? One mood of a compassion is, as a mother, Draupadi doesn't want Krupi to be also the same. Krupi should not suffer like her, crying like her. So it's like para dukkha dukhi. I am crying, why should she cry? I don't want that to happen. So it's a compassionate nature. And also forgiveness. Even though Ashwatthama has done something, she is telling he should be forgiven. And then you see, we understand that Ashwatthama is sinful, but his father is not sinful. And he is treated as Bhagavan because he is a guru. Prabhupada says, if he is a guru, he is Sakshat Dharitvena Samasta Shastra. He is as good as Bhagavan. And how can you even think about killing the guru means killing Bhagavan here, right? So Bhagavan is Krishna himself. And now he is also talking about Ardhangini. Krupi is an Ardhangini of Dronacharya, better half. Ardhangini is like Krishna, no, Radharani is Ardhangini of Krishna. So now, Bhagavan, how can Guru can be killed like this? So she's telling, no, don't kill. And again, this is another mode of compassion. But Arjuna and Bhima, they are telling, let's kill him. Krishna is also telling, yes, kill him. So, but how do we understand? How do we come to a conclusion? What do we need to do? One is telling, within our family members, one is telling, don't kill. Another one is telling, even Arjuna is not an ordinary soul. Bhima, he is also telling, just kill him. Then I said, even I was confused when I was preparing for all this, for this class. Then I started seeking shelter of devotees, senior Vaishnavas. Then one answer I got is, from His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. He said, the mood of it depends on the mood of compassion. Draupadi, her mood of compassion as a mother is, I am crying, I don't want anybody to cry. Para dukkha dukhi. And then Arjuna and Bhima, they're all telling, kill him. That is also compassion. I couldn't understand. What is that? That's also compassion. They are also merciful. That's also compassionate. In what way? If they are killed, all his sins will be gone. That means Ashwathama's sins will be gone and he'll be liberated. That too in front of Krishna, he'll be completely liberated. So they were also compassionate. They were also merciful. Draupadi is also merciful. And now in future verses, Krishna will tackle and satisfy the different moods of compassion of these devotees, how to do it, and what is the best way to do it. Killing, but not killing. So that is why we need to seek shelter of the Guru, Sadhu, Guru, and Shastra. Why Sadhu? Sadhu is always looking at the decision from Shastras. Guru is following the sadhus, he is following the Shastras. And we, as a living entity, in this material world, as a conditioned soul, we follow the Guru, Sadhu, and Shastras, and then we make a decision. If we are not having a Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, people will also go on for a counseling. And we don't know that counseling will help. For some people, it might help. And what if the counselor itself gives a wrong decision? Here, look at this very complicated scenario here. Whether to kill, not to kill. So the better is to approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead and surrender to Him. And He will make a decision for us. So saying this, I will stop here. I know I'm already 7:28. Thank you so much for all your time. The summary is, how do we make a decision at a difficult situation or a happy situation, and how to deal on a day-to-day life. And that too, when there is a serious problem, how do we deal? When it's a happiest moments, how do we deal? And for all of those, we should become an instrument in the service of Krishna and do our sadhana in such a way we get the mood of compassion to preach others and uplift the fallen conditioned souls. To try to uplift, how to try to help uplift, to be in the movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to be in the movement of Srila Prabhupada, and what they did, the compassionate nature Prabhupada did, and is given this mercy to all of us like a fallen conditioned souls. That is the compassionate mood we need to also develop. For that, purity is the force, and our sadhana has to be very important so that we can also get that purity one day to preach and make some impact on others, to uplift ourselves, uplift them. Thank you so much. I'll open for any discussions. Otherwise, we can stop. Hare Krishna. Anyone else? Anyone wants to say something?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I just wanted to say thank you for your class. I'm on a way to an appointment, and I could say my mood wasn't in the greatest, but listening to your class has lightened my mood very much, and I very much look forward to the day now. And I just wanted to thank you for your services. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. That's why we need to be with the devotees every day, especially in the morning. Srimad Bhagavatam classes, the hearing process helps, and it will rejuvenate the day for us every day. This is not an exercise, normally we'll go for an exercise to, I want to be active for the day. But for us devotees, of course, that is also important. But for us, how to be active in the whole day is by hearing, so that we'll be rightly active. Okay, looks like.
Thank you very much, Prabhu, for bringing so much context to sadhana. You started the discussion with a lot of how to deal with regular daily life, but how it all actually begins with one's own spiritual practice and following the advanced devotees and spiritual master. This without that, the other trials may look good, but they're not going to help at a substantial level. So that's something that I really appreciated from your discussion today. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mata.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. I was just thinking at the end of the class, you mentioned about, it looks like it's like confusing. Krishna is saying, Bhima is saying they kill him, and then the Draupadi and saying not to kill him. And we see this kind of lot of situations. The other day, I remember Vamshidhar Prabhu is saying, the spiritual life is not like just doing or not doing, right? It is both ways. So, I was just trying to remember the way you connected with to take the help from Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, right? And here, though Krishna is telling directly, but then Arjuna has to apply his intelligence, right? Later on, we will hear. So just try to contemplating that. Though we take that instruction, it looks like two conflicting messages coming. Both are compassionate, but then again, Arjuna has to apply his intelligence to do both, right? Not one or two. So
yeah.
So just trying to understand.
So that's like a mood of compassion. Anyway, it is compassionate nature. The compassionate nature also, Draupadi is telling about forgiveness. Just don't kill him. But Arjuna and Bhima are telling, just kill him. Don't forgive. Just kill him. There is nothing to forgive. Just kill him. But that's also compassion. It's very confusing. Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Okay. Pandran Gopal, I can see you. Maybe say something.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare.
Not much to add, Prabhu. I'm literally enjoying the conflict provided by the Krishna. My realization is it is impossible to understand Krishna. Even though how much acharyas give, they try to give so much, but still Krishna is not easy to catch, impossible to catch. That's what is my realization in this chapter, especially. You read one verse, one conclusion. You read another verse, another conclusion. So Krishna is the supreme. Let's not try to understand him. Just try to enjoy his pastimes.
Just follow him.
Just
follow the steps.
Not follow, just enjoy. And if you try to understand, unnecessary time waste, other things. So my realization is just how great Krishna is. He can make things upside down and still make it happen. So I'm really, really happy to see how Krishna is so difficult to understand. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hari. Thank you so much. Anybody else want to say some realizations, reflections? My brother Shivalabha Prabhu, are you there? A long time hearing from you. I think he left. Okay. All right. I think we can stop. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vansha kalpatru vyascha. Paditanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. Somebody else? Sorry, somebody said something. Okay, Lingaraj Prabhu, thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.